Hi, let's talk about Maya Angelou's memoir published in 1969. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. I picked this up a couple of months ago and I took some time actually to read this. It's told, of course, it's a memoir, and the story begins when Maya Angelou is young. She's a child, and she talks about her life spent in the American South with her brother, with her paternal grandmom. Her parents had split, and so her brother and Maya, they were both sent to live with her grandmother, who was super strict but also very nurturing at the same time. So the story begins when she and her brother move to Arkansas, if I'm not wrong, if I'm not forgetting. So anyway, she lives this American Southern life with her grandmom growing up, and then there are few years when she moves back with her mom, and then she talks about how she gets raped by her mother's boyfriend, and then she moves back again with her grandmother. And there's a lot, the themes of displacement is very prominent in her memoir, themes of abandonment, the relationship that she had with the women in her life who were so strong and powerful. Of course, her grandmother was a great influence on her, but also at the same time her mom, who was initially absent in her formative years, but how she too had a great impact on Maya. She clearly, she vividly describes her relationship with her brother, that Bailey Jr., who she is very close to, who she loves and adores. So basically this novel, of course, takes us through her childhood, how she was this diligent student, how she was inclined towards academics. This book, if I have to talk about the themes, like I said, about displacement, about love, about abandonment, these are quite prominent. This Maya Angelou, the first time I read Maya Angelou was in high school. Her poem Phenomenal Woman, I really loved that poem. And she, of course, is a phenomenal woman and a phenomenal poet. So this memoir is quite lyrical and poetic, to be honest. The way she structures her sentences, the way she talks about incidences. There have been, of course, traumatic instances in her life, especially living as a black young girl in America in the 20th century was not easy. She talks about getting her first job as a bus conductor and how difficult it was for her to, as a teenager, to get that job because black people were not given equal opportunities like the white people. There are also instances of her talking about her father, who again did not technically, who technically did abandon her, but also at the same time came, who she came in contact with in a few instances of her life. There is an incident about her spending a summer with her father and his girlfriend, and how her father and her took a trip to Mexico where she was just a young teenager. She was probably 14 years old, and when they went to Mexico and they crossed the border, I think he took her to I'm not sure about this, I'm forgetting, but he took her to a bar, not a bar exactly, but anyway, basically he got drunk, and then she had to drive him back across the border, and she did not know how to drive. And then it was the first instance when she felt not just independent, but also I don't think independent is the right word here, but sense of power, I would say, when she was so helpless. She didn't know what to do at that time. And so there are a few instances where she does refer to her father. The memories, again, like one thing that I find really beautiful about memoirs, unlike autobiographies, is that these are memoirs have like fragments of memories from the author's past and the way they have perceived their life at that point of time, when, because memory can be deceiving, memory can fool us at times, but anyhow, this is I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings is a phenomenal book, and I would highly recommend it to anyone wanting to read about Maya Angelou, a prolific African American writer, prolific activist who talked about struggles of Black women, who talked about sexuality, who talked about who fought for the rights of African American people in the United States. So yeah, I would like to actually read out her poem "Phenomenal Woman." I'm going to read it after a long time, and this is one of my favorites. Phenomenal woman. Pretty women wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model's size. But when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenally phenomenal woman. That's me. I walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man, the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes and the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist and the joy in my feet. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say, it's in the arc of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breasts, the grace of my style. I am a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about, or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say, it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, the neat of my care. 'Cause I am a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. It still sort of gives me goosebumps when I read this poem. I remember in high school, like, I should constantly read this poem because it gave me so much confidence. It gave me so much joy. And I mean, of course, Maya Angelou did go through a lot of struggle in her life for who she was and where she was born. But at the same time, she used her words, she used her activism to not just speak on behalf of the people who, let's say, the subaltern or people who didn't have voice, but also to talk about her own struggles and to amplify the cause of Black women and the cause of African Americans in America. I mean, I personally derived a lot of inspiration from her poetry, especially Phenomenal Woman. This was actually in part of our course. So yeah, I would highly recommend Maya Angelou's any poetry book and definitely her memoir.